the official station of the Salem Rocks, Canton Chiefs, and Plymouth Wildcats. 88.1 The Park.
Greetings and welcome to The Scene, the third installment of the PCP Local Music Show. My name is Nick Brandon. I'm director of the In the Band Music Appreciation Studio, which is the co-sponsor of The Scene here on 88.1 The Park. Thanks for dropping in with us here on a Thursday evening. It's very, very good to be with everyone again. I'm joined once again by Aaron Mahako, another one of the directors at In the Band Music Appreciation Studio. Aaron, it's good to have you back.
Good to be back. Hi, everybody. Yeah.
We missed you at our second show. It was a pretty good show. We had a variety of local music, and of course we had the band Cup in studio.
Yeah, sorry to have missed them.
Yeah, they did a great job in their interview, played some songs in studio, even did a Smash Mouth cover near the end of the show.
Then I really missed something special.
Absolutely, yeah. Anytime you get a Smash Mouth cover, right? So it's good to have Aaron back in the house. Aaron and I pretty inspired today. We went and saw the Oasis documentary last night at the Michigan
Feeling
Theater.
it all over.
Absolutely. Yep. Don't you think it's time, Aaron, for another musical revolution?
I think it's time to bring back the guitar. It's time for some guitar-driven rock.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Why can't the musical revolution start here in Plymouth, Michigan?
I think it's going to have to. I think it's on us to really bring that about. And I'm pretty excited about that, I'll be honest.
Between 88.1 The Park, PCP Music, and In the Band Music Appreciation Studio, I think it's going to happen right here.
Yeah, and some of these great young artists that we have funneling through here, so it's pretty exciting.
For sure. It's an exciting time at In the Band, an exciting time here at the park. It's an exciting time here on The Scene because we have George Rafka in today from the band Floodwaters and the new band called Junior High Cheer Squad, which is making some noise at the park. They've already played a couple kind of high-profile shows. Junior High Cheer Squad features George Rafka. It also features our old friend Keegan Weaver, a good friend of this show and a good friend of the In the Band Music Appreciation Studio. We're going to start with him with a song called Sleepless Nights. After that, we'll hear from Hilltop Drive Horizontal. Later in the show, we'll interview George Rafka. We'll hear some in-studio songs. We have a tuba and a trombone in the house.
Exciting.
Very exciting,
Yes.
Very interesting to see how this is going to go. We'll have our influences segment. Of course, The Scene Rewind, where we'll bring Bill Keith into the conversation. We're going to hear from Moods for Moderns, a band that I have a little bit of a connection with. We'll also hear from Sparrow Diary and, like I said, some music from Floodwaters. So a full-packed show, an exciting show. We're going to hear great music, talk to some excellent musicians. So let's get it going with Sleepless Nights by Me and the Dog here on The Scene on 88.1 The Park.
The fear sets in my bones. That sleeping takes a toll. Lying awake with these dangerous thoughts shakes me to the core. Tired of seeing broken people and the breakers that are breaking only because they're more broke. And I'm tired of having every bit of self-confidence that I've been saving for my thinking days taken away. Confusion deep within makes me wonder where I'm at. The bigger the number on the left, the more confused I am. Tired of seeing broken people and the breakers that are breaking breaking only because they're more broke. I'm tired of having every bit of self-confidence that I've been saving for my thinking days taken away. I'm tired of hearing the word contribute, as if you were setting me up to be part of your master plan. I'm tired of having to agree with this plan, or else I become the virus capable of wiping out man. The light floods my mind. It saves me every time.
From 18 to Michigan Avenue, 88.1 The Park is on.
I'm faded, dismayed, and everything is not how it should be. You drifted, I slipped, and now I don't know where we stand. She said I won't let this break unless we've tried everything. I had nothing left to say.
Hilltop Drive with Horizontal here on the scene on 88.1 The Park. I really like that song.
Yep.
That was good. What a great recording.
Yeah, sounded real good quality, actually.
That's Chance and Sam and Chris in Hilltop Drive. We're going to have them into the scene, I think in December or January, one of those two shows. Before that, we heard from our good friend Keegan Weaver, a very well-known name to us here
Very
at the
familiar.
scene.
Yep.
Absolutely. A regular at the In the Band Music Appreciation Studio. But it's not Keegan Weaver. We know it as Me and the Dog with Sleepless Nights. We are joined right now by someone who's very familiar with Keegan Weaver, as you're in a new band, Junior High Cheer Squad. Love that name, by the way, with Keegan Weaver. George Rafka is joining us in studio. George, welcome to the scene.
Thank you for having me and other people that I've played with before. It's awesome being here.
We should say George Rafka and Friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because, George didn't go anywhere alone. He brought his entourage.
Of course not. Of course not.
You brought your entourage. So we also have Ian, who's going to be on the tuba. We have Zach, who's going to be on the trombone, and we have Savannah, who will be rocking it on the ukulele.
Of course.
So you got kind of a crew with you here tonight.
It's not really a crew. It's just that we were all really good friends when we started making music together. So we had a band called Floodwaters.
Yeah, let's talk about Floodwaters, because it'll be cool, because I know we're going to hear some Floodwaters music, both recorded and live, but that's kind of where you seem to establish yourself here at the park in terms of the music scene. Tell us about the beginnings of that band and what you guys got out of it in those early years.
So it started off, me and Ian, we wanted to start a band, and we thought it was really cool if we just had guitar and bass, and that was going to be it. And we wrote one song, Donnie, and then I've always played with Savannah, and we thought it'd be cool to have her in the band as well. And we were all really good friends, and we all knew each other. It wasn't just like I introduced them. So it was really easy, like getting together and making music because we were all familiar with each other. And we wrote some songs, and we recorded like a small demo EP. And we made like little CD cases like out of paper, and like sold them for like $1 and made like $50.
Hey, all right.
Not all of them were $1. We were very generous and gave some of them free.
Of course. They were promos.
Yeah,
You got to
absolutely.
give away promos. Yeah.
And that was really cool. And a lot of people seemed to like that. We put it on SoundCloud, got a bunch of listens. So it was around then where we thought like, oh, this is pretty good. Maybe we should start some shows. That's where it kind of started to take off.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to see you play at a show a few months ago at the Plymouth Arts and Recreation Complex. And Floodwater is definitely kind of a wide-ranging musical thing. How would you describe the sound?
Fun, rock, sad, acoustic, punk.
All
Fun,
right.
rock, sad.
That maybe
acoustic
it's
punk.
its
that
own
okay with
niche
you guys?
genre.
I like it.
A lot of hyphens.
You could say eclectic.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of hyphens. You're right. Yeah. You know what? After seeing you guys, I kind of have to agree with that. It's a little all over the map, and I mean that in a good way.
With like the horns and the yelling and the sometimes where it's soft.
Yeah.
Yeah, real dynamic. That's important.
It is, and I think it's interesting. You had this vision of just guitar and bass. You woke up one day and you had tuba and trombone and ukulele.
And drums as well.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So the idea of just using different instruments, I mean, it's definitely a creative thing you're doing. And that's what's cool about Floodwaters. When I saw you guys, I was like, this is different.
It was really fun. And that was a really good show. But we were talking about it, me and Zach at least, and like our biggest show we played, and I think my funnest show that I've played with them, was in Northville at a Legion Hall that we rented out. And there were like 120 people there, and like everyone knew the lyrics. And I think around that time I was like, oh crap, like people like this. And so it was just a really awesome experience playing shows in this area.
It's very cool, yeah. And you mentioned before we went on the air that it was actually a couple PCP bands that maybe got you started in music. You mentioned PK Fire and Good Luck Varsity.
Of course.
That's cool that, kind of the scene of the past is influencing what's going on now. Tell us about how those bands influenced you.
So when I was like 10, I think, my sister took me to a show at the Barn, which is a venue in Canton, and it's literally a barn with a stage. And Good Luck Varsity played there, and that was like my first show I've ever been to. And as a kid, I thought that was like really cool, and it just stuck in my mind as a pretty cool thing. And then in middle school, at the middle school that me, Savannah, and Zach went to, there was a band called PK Fire, and they would come play at the end of the year for like the last day and like throw a concert because one of the people who was in the band, their mom worked at the school, and they got them to play there for like a fun little party at the end. And seeing them during middle school was really awesome because they were quite talented people. The songs they wrote and everything they did.
I think it's cool. The whole thing is very DIY. You know, the shows that you play, and even you were talking about your CDs and kind of putting them in a paper sleeve and selling them for $1. It's cool that everything's so kind of organic. That's what makes a scene, right?
It's really DIY, like you said. We did it all ourselves. We recorded ourselves. We set up the shows ourselves. We made connections with other PCP bands and other bands outside of that ourselves. And everything was just DIY. And I think that's really inspiring as you're doing it because it's kind of like making something out of nothing, I guess. Mm-hmm. So doing that really helped me learn a lot.
Yeah, most great music scenes had that beginning.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's punk or a variety of other things. It started in basements and in small clubs.
Yeah, small clubs.
Yeah, and that's cool.
It's fun. That's what I want to say about it. It's just fun doing it, setting up the shows, making connections.
Well, let's have some fun right now. I think it's time to hear some of this in studio here, Aaron.
Yep, I'm ready.
All right.
Let's give them a chance to get situated here because we got tuba, we got trombone, we got ukulele, we got, of course, George Rafka here. And let's see how it all pans out. So this is a Floodwaters song, but we're going to bill it as George Rafka and Friends. And the first song we're going to hear is called Donnie. I think that George referenced this early on in the interview. And after that, we're going to hear Are You Tired? So we've got Ian on the tuba, we've got Zach on the trombone, we've got Savannah on ukulele, and of course George Rafka on the vocals and acoustic guitar. Take it away, ladies and gentlemen. Here is Donnie.
All right, guys. You guys ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, 4. He sees a rabbit in a mask. He knows that everything is fine. And hey, Donnie, where you at, my man? Hey, Donnie, you alright? I'm fine and I'll sleep like I used to. My body is older. I broke when I had to. I know that he loved her. She hits back when she has to. You think she got these black eyes on her own? I hear her boyfriend hits her twice as hard, but man, I'm sure that I will never know. She's got tattoos down her rib cage. She's got tattoos down her back. She's got a list of all the reasons why she's sure that Donnie's never coming back. And hey, Donnie, where you at, man? And hey, Donnie, you alright? I'm fine. And hey, sweetheart, are you broken yet? Because that heart of yours looks awfully nice, and I simply can't do this. My hair is disgusting, my lipstick is faded, and I know that he used me. The scars on my heart are the scars on his heart. I promise I'm not scared, just need some more time. I promise I'm not scared, just need some more time. I promise I'm not scared, just need some more time. Hey, Donnie, man, I got bruises for you. 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 Oh, no.
There you go. There's Donnie.
Nice work, guys.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you
nice
very much for having us.
I got to give Savannah some credit too on the vocals.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And on the recordings, too, not just live. She always sung back up, and that's some songs that she sung very talented, very awesome.
Yeah, you guys
real
sound
strong
really,
vocal.
Yeah, you sound really good together for sure. So, George, how does it work? Do you write the song on the acoustic guitar and then bring in the other elements and kind of create parts for the other instruments, or how does it work?
I'd just write a song, just like a little thing on the guitar, and like expand on that, and then I'd show up to the basement that we practiced in, and then everyone would just play what they wanted, and it came really good together. It was very effortlessly done, I guess. So that's how it worked out, and it was really fun, I guess, playing just like what we wanted, and it worked out for what we wanted.
Well, the goal is to have some fun. Let's continue it. I want to hear more. I'm ready for another. So next is Are You Tired?
Yep.
Tell me about this song. When did you write it? And is this a newer Floodwaters song or an older one?
This was one of the first songs we wrote as a band. Me and Savannah wrote it and then brought it to everyone else like a couple weeks later, I guess. And this is the one that like everyone really liked when we play live and on SoundCloud and stuff. It had like the most listens. So.
All right. Well, take it away. Let's hear Are You Tired?
All right. You guys ready? The room is empty, and it's just you and I, and there's the devil, but he's a nice guy, and he is sorry that he can't love himself because he's simple, and he is no one else, and she is shaking, but her heart stands still because she's someone, and she's about to spill out her mind. Oh. Remember when you made me cut my hair? Remember when you told me life's not fair? Remember all those cold nights in December? Remember, but winter's over, baby, the sun's out, and our lives have changed somehow. These bottles, they are broken. The glass is left in me. My eyes, they are swollen with ecstasy. My heart, it is aching for a pulse. My hands, they are shaking because it's my fault. But when my car crashes into your yard, you've gotta understand that we won't go far. You've gotta understand that we won't go far. You've gotta understand that we won't go very far.
Well done, everyone.
Nice.
Are
Thank
You
you
Tired
so
there?
much.
You bet. From George Rafka and Friends, or we'll say Floodwaters. Is
Yep.
it fair to just say this is like an unofficial Floodwaters reunion? Can we just call it that?
I guess so. I
It's-
guess it is pretty much.
We're
Almost
just down
all
one
of us.
rhythm guy.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
big deal.
Yeah, no
really.
big deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it still counts, but really well done, everyone.
Thank you.
Very impressive. Very impressive that you can work all those instruments and make it cohesive and very good.
It's just fun. That's what we liked about it, I guess.
I like that.
Keep chasing more fun.
Exactly. That's the key, right? That's why we're all into music, I think. So the perfect bridge into our influences segment, which we're going to start right now, George. You chose 3 songs as key influences on you: the Front Bottoms, Frankie Cosmos, and Tiny Moving Parts, as we're going to hear in the 3 songs in the influences segment. So let's start with the Front Bottoms. Tell us about that choice.
Front Bottoms are a band. I think you can tell just from the sound. They inspire me to write, I guess, because I listened to them and it was like very energetic, fun music, and it had like kind of like a punk emo vibe, I guess. And I just really liked the sound and the lyrics and everything. And it's a band that me and Savannah were both into, so writing similar to that was kind of easy for us, I guess, because we both listened to it a lot.
I can hear a lot of common themes between Floodwaters and the Front Bottoms, definitely.
It's,
vocally, lyrically.
Yeah, vocal and lyrics.
the
They jumped
name-
right out for sure.
The name was actually inspired by a lyric from them. When the floodwaters come, it ain't gonna be clear. It's gonna look like mud.
Oh, cool. Nice. Is that in this song or another one of the songs?
No, that's just in a song called Twin Size Mattress. This one is actually the first Front Bottom song I heard, so that's why I picked it.
Very cool. And then Frankie Cosmos, the cool thing is you're going to be seeing them, or is it a her? Her.
At a band, but yeah.
Here in like a few hours.
Yep. I'm going to see her at them. It's a band now. At the Loving Touch in Ferndale, like right after this, and I'm taking a couple friends. Going to be a good time.
Aaron, how cool is this? He's going to leave the scene and go to a show.
That's just how it should be.
That's how it should be, right?
It's it's kind of funny because
It's a real deal.
The Front Bottoms and Tiny Moving Parts, they differ very much from Frankie Cosmos so much. It'll be like kind of out of place when you hear it. But Frankie Cosmos is a very talented artist who definitely had an impact on the way I write music and make music.
It packs a lot into like a minute 20.
Yeah.
Because that's a really short song, but it feels like there's a lot going on in it.
Speaking of short songs, she has a Bandcamp with like 50 little demo albums, I guess, and some songs are like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But she has like 2 studio albums and an EP, and those are probably my favorite releases.
Kind of a Ryan Adams move. He put out a 7-inch, 18 songs. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. They're like 30-second songs.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Cool. And then Tiny Moving Parts will close the Influences segment. How about that one?
Yeah, Tiny Moving Parts is a band that I always listen to, and they just come up on my iPod, but I started listening to them more, and they definitely have an impact now on what I do with my new band, Junior High Cheer Squad. And their sound and their guitar parts are just so insane. Very math rocky, complex, emo-ish, and very just good music from them.
For sure. So we'll go Flashlight by the Front Bottoms, On the Lips by Frankie Cosmos, and then close the Influences segment with Always Focused by Tiny Moving Parts. Here's the Front Bottoms on 88.1 The Park. Welcome back to the scene on 88.1 The Park. That was Tiny Moving Parts with Always Focused, the last of 3 songs during the Influences segment for our in-studio guest, George Rafka. We are now going to turn our attention to the Scene Rewind segment here. We're going to bring in Bill Keith, station director for 88.1 The Park. Bill, with so much knowledge about the musicians that have come in and out of these 3 high schools for the last really few decades, I would say. Bill, we're going to look today at a band, Moods for Moderns. We're going to listen to some music from the year 2000. Tell us about your recollections of this group.
Well, I only knew one of the members, Dave Shetler. I'm not sure if the other 2 guys went to school here or not, but Dave did, and he would often come around the radio station because he had friends that were on our staff. So even before I knew him, he was kind of hanging out around here. And then got to know him through a band that he was in called Empire State Games, and then Moods for Moderns hit, and they looked like they were going to be kind of a next big thing for a moment there. And then he went on to other projects too. I think he was in the Sights, and there was probably some other bands that he's been part of since then.
He was a very active musician through the 2000s and experienced some pretty good success. You mentioned the Sights, a national act. In fact, when I was covering music for a local newspaper, I went to 2 South by Southwest music festivals, and one year went and saw the Sights and caught up with Dave because him and I were friends back in the day, and we actually played in a couple bands together. And he was a very driven musician. You know, he really wanted it, and he played in a variety of bands. And the Sights was probably the closest he got to sort of making it. I mean, they toured and they put out a few records on indie labels that were pretty successful. And he kind of seemed to be in that garage rocky thing that was going on at that time.
Yeah, I would totally agree. This album that we're going to hear from was, I think, engineered or produced by Jim Diamond, who did a lot of the Detroit garage rock. So it was no surprise that he was kind of connected to that whole scene.
The Detroit legend, Jim Diamond, as a lot of people say.
Yeah, and I knew him not super well, but went up at Michigan State because he was around there. Was in a band called the Way Outs, and was making some really interesting music. And then of course he became kind of like the god of garage rock in Detroit.
Absolutely. He's very synonymous with the scene. And so we're going to hear from Dave Shetler, a PCP alum, as part of Moods for Moderns. Here on the Scene Rewind, we'll hear Halifax and You're the One off of this year 2000 EP called 2 Tracks Left. Here's Mood for Moderns on the Scene Rewind here on 88.1 The Park. You're the One by Moods for Moderns on the Scene Rewind here on the Scene on 88.1 The Park. My old friend Dave Shetler on the drums and vocals and all sorts of stuff. George Rafka, our in-studio guest. What did you think of Moods for Moderns?
It was definitely different for me because I listen to and enjoy garage rock a lot, and the stuff I listen to is kind of like harder, I guess, more distortion. But it was definitely something I could get into. I was listening to it, relating it to other artists like Ariel Pink. He's a new he's not really new. He's been at it for a while. Garage rock, weird kind of guy. And it's definitely good. Something I could get into. I might have to ask you again the name and the tracks because I was really digging it.
We'd be happy to share that with you because the Scene Rewind is all about kind of looking at the past of PCEP musicians and celebrating. It is a very good past. You know, for decades there's been a music scene here at these 3 high schools, or when it was 2 high schools. And it's cool to look back at some of those older days. I was thinking there was definitely like a Beach Boys thing going on. Good Beach Boys. You know, not like 80s Beach Boys. I'm talking about when they were really good.
Yep.
In that kind of catchiness of that song. So good to check in with Moods for Moderns and Dave Shetler. George, tell us about Junior High Cheer Squad. I mean, obviously it's a name that's easy to remember. And I know that Keegan Weaver's part of the project. You also have Weston Welch in there. So that's kind of your new band. And I know you guys have played a couple shows. And what's been awesome is that you've used the In the Band Music Appreciation Studio a lot to practice. So tell us about the band. Tell us about your experiences at the studio, too.
Guitar learning, tapping stuff and math rock stuff. And I'd always like send videos to Keegan of like new riffs that I made, and he'd really be into them. And he suggested that one day we just kind of do it because I had like a full song written, and it was just me and Keegan one day. And then he was just like, "Let's add Wes," and then that's a short history behind it because it is really a short history.
It is, but you guys have been able to get out and play at least once, but I think a couple times. How have the shows been so far?
Awesome. We practice all the time in the band. So everything comes out really tight, and I do want to talk about practicing there because honestly, what you do is awesome. You let us go practice there, and the equipment you have is really fantastic. It's really nice, easy to use, and it's just a space where we can get creative because we have all the instruments there. We have the in-ears, and we can talk into the mics and hear each other and collaborate, and it's just really awesome. Everything sounds really nice. So thank you for that.
It's good to hear you. No problem. That's why we're there for you. Aaron, it's good to hear that feedback, isn't it?
I love to hear that feedback.
It's fantastic not having to carry a drum set everywhere, too.
Yes. As a drummer, I agree. And we got 2 drum sets up now. We got the Bonham replica
heard,
kit. Yeah, which is just a boomer. It's awesome. And we've added some more stuff, Aaron. What else have we added?
So in addition to that Thunderbird bass, we've added an SG bass, and then the piece de resistance, my big favorite addition is the new Hagstrom Viking Deluxe Tremar that we've added, a nice semi-hollow body guitar. Fantastic. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to strum on that yet.
We saw it in the box, and Keegan opens the box, and he's just like, "Oh my God, come look at this."
Yeah, it sounds just like it looks, so it's a real fun addition, and hopefully you guys get some good use out of that too.
For sure, it sings, and it's been cool to see so much activity. We've had a busy month at In the Band Music Appreciation Studio, thanks to artists like George and bands like Junior High Cheer Squad. We're here for you guys. That's why we're there, so I'm glad you're using it.
Thank you for that.
You bet, of course. George, tell us, any chance for a Floodwaters reunion? Is it going to happen?
Wrong. Not really wrong. We me and Ian talked about doing like a show where we got together and played one last show because being part of that scene with that band, like there were like 100 kids coming to shows, and that was really awesome, and like thousands of listens on SoundCloud, and a lot of people who just like really loved the music and like were there for the music and to have a good time. So we talked about having one show. May or may not happen, maybe may not. It would definitely be a good time if it did.
Well, if and when it happens, make sure and let us know here at the scene so we can
of course also
get the word out.
About a show tomorrow. You guys know Keegan Weaver, Me and the Dog. He has a show with American Arson, Stay Away, a bunch of local musicians at the American Legion Hall, 100 West Dunlap in downtown Northville. I'll be there. It's going to be a good time.
It's becoming like you guys' second home, the American Legion Hall.
Yeah. A lot of our shows are held there because they let us play. It's cheap to rent, and everyone is familiar with it.
Good. Well, I'm glad you got to plug that show. So let's create one more moment of this sort of informal Floodwaters reunion. So take your spots, lady and gentlemen, and we are going to hear one final song in studio here live. We're going to hear Blue Jay from George Rafka and Friends, and this is a Floodwaters song, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent. So
another one of the hype ones.
Here once again we've got Ian on tuba, Zach on trombone, Savannah on ukulele and vocals, and George Rafka on the acoustic guitar and vocals. Here we go with Blue Jay. Take it away.
Are you guys ready?
Yep.
All right.
lie to all my friends. Tell them that you called me weak, and when we're all broken, the lights begin to shake. You love yourself too much, and 2 weeks was a mistake. But this can't ruin me. A month and I'll be overseas. A year and she'll be calling you. She means it when she says we're through. But your hair and the way you look do not bother me that much. Oh, I run my mouth a lot, but when I talk it means love. Your hair and the way you look do not bother me that much. Oh, I run my mouth a lot, but when I talk it means love. Help me become somebody else. It's hard for me to love myself. It's hard to know that the ties are all gone. I cannot learn how to carry on, but the place that I'm in and the things that I have seen, I never thought that you'd be this mean. I never thought that you'd be this mean. I never thought that you'd be this mean. But your hair and the way you look do not bother me that much. Oh, I run my mouth a lot, but when I talk it means love. Your hair and the way you look do not bother me that much. Oh, I run my mouth a lot, but when I talk it means love. Oh.
Blue Jay there from George Rafka and Friends, our in-studio guest here on the scene on 88.1 The Park. We'll have one more segment with George after this. We're going to keep the music going right now. We're going to hear from Theron Farmer from Cup, our in-studio guest from the last edition of the scene, his new solo project called Sparrow Diary. This is Flowers on 88.1 The Park. flowers there from Sparrow Diary here on the scene on 88.1 The Park. George Rafka, thanks so much for coming in tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. Honestly, it was like kind of like a last minute thing. I asked them if they wanted to come play in the studio, and thank you guys for coming to do that.
Way
It's
to
been
jump
a
in,
while.
guys. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Really appreciate you being here.
We had Ian, Zach, and Savannah, who we found out Aaron has another project going
Yep,
on.
side project, or I shouldn't call it a side project. It's another project that you have called Lavender. And you said we can find some of this music on SoundCloud and Twitter? Yeah. Okay.
Very cool. So check out Lavender to support what Savannah's doing. Maybe we'll have them into a future edition of the scene
I
here
think
on
that would
88.1 The
sound
Park.
perfect,
I think
yeah.
that'd be cool. We're real proud to be doing what we're doing at the In the Band Music Appreciation Studio, and to get a chance to work with all of these musicians here at the park is really an amazing thing. George Rafka, thanks for taking out time. Guys, thanks
Thank
for
you guys.
You bet.
What you guys do is awesome. Like you said, making history with the bands. We're making history right now.
For sure. We want to thank Bill Keith, station manager of 88.1 The Park, for everything he does to allow us to have this radio show
Thank
on
you.
the air. We will be back in November with a very special in-studio guest. We're going to have singer-songwriter Binya Howard in
Pretty
studio.
cool.
He's going to play some songs, and we'll speak with Binya. So let's have Binya play us out with a new song by him called Then Why. Thank you so much for dropping into the scene here on 88.1 The Park. We'll see you next time.